We're back for number 4, the Goblet of Fire. And I'm still a bit sick today, but I'm going to be going on antibiotics as of today, so hopefully by next video we'll be completely good, if not mostly good. I'm here with my little buddy, Rambo. He's in my room, so he'll be chilling out with us. We've actually been watching Harry Potter together, so maybe he can chime in. Right, Rambo? Yeah, good boy. Okay, so I got my my IMDb open here, and before I begin, I would like to say that this movie actually, I definitely rate it much higher than I did the last time I watched it. And like I said in our last video for the series, we're going to be doing a rating comparison, but for this movie I'm giving it a 9.4. It may be a 9.3, but let's say 9.3 or 4. That's Rambo sneezing, by the way. And basically I tie it with the score of Azkaban, Prisoner of Azkaban, but I give that a better slot. So I do think it is a bit better, but there's a lot of things in this movie that I really enjoy. But obviously the one area where this movie falls back compared to its predecessor is the direction. The direction of Goblet of Fire is definitely much worse than Prisoner of Azkaban. It's still good, but not nearly as. But the story I really like from Goblet of Fire. I really enjoy the structure and like the competition, and then the mystery being revealed, and then ultimately Voldemort coming back at the end, which I think is a really good whole arc and reveal. Also, I think the acting is particularly strong for this movie. And yeah, we'll get into it with the plot synopsis. So, Harry, Ron, and Hermione enter their 4th year at Hogwarts. After having a strange dream of Voldemort and his Death Eaters, Harry Potter awakens at the Weasley's house as they shortly depart for the 422nd Quidditch World Cup. The camp is attacked by Death Eaters, and the three later arrive at Hogwarts, where they find the school will be hosting a legendary event called the Triwizard Tournament, in which one wizard from each of 2 rival schools in Hogwarts will compete in 3 dangerous tasks. When the schools of Beauxbatons and Drumstrang, the rival schools, arrive, the rules are announced. So basically, this is sort of the beginning of the arc where you start. I mean, it's kind of started in even from the first movie, but mostly the second, where Harry is being portrayed as connected to Voldemort mentally. And so yeah, he starts having dreams / nightmares, which at the very end of the movie you understand they're actually visions, and he's seeing stuff that's actually happening. And he sees Voldemort talking to Peter Pettigrew, who betrayed his parents and escaped last film, and a man he doesn't recognize. And then Voldemort is like kind of obscured to the eye and you can't see him, but it's clear he doesn't have a body, really. And basically this is where we get the introduction scene where they're in the Great Hall. The ceiling starts raining, and the new teacher, Alistair Moody, or Mad-Eye Moody, arrives and shoots his wand at the ceiling and fixes it as it's raining down. He's basically this crazy guy that has a lot of experience as a Auror, so someone that fights dark wizards. And basically, yeah, so people over the age of 17 are allowed to enter their names in the Goblet of Fire, who then the goblet will choose a champion for each school. And then it's revealed in a really good scene that I enjoy. The champions Victor Crumb, Fleur Delacour and Cedric Diggory from Hogwarts, but then at the very end, Harry Potter's name comes out, and this causes a huge shock to everybody, and that's Rambo. He's coughing over there. I don't know if you can hear him. But basically, yeah, everybody's shocked, and Harry's like, whoa, what's going on? And Harry insists that he did not enter his name, and basically Ron starts getting jealous of him, who believes that Harry's trying to make himself the center of attention again. And then they become estranged. And Dumbledore tells Alistair to keep a eye on Harry without him knowing it. So this establishes that Dumbledore trusts Alistair Moody a lot. So the first event begins, and basically it's a dragon fight where Harry has to retrieve this golden egg without, getting killed by the dragon. And he uses a broom to do it. And he gets the egg, and he opens it, and horrible screaming is heard. And basically this is the point where Ron and Harry kind of mend their relationship, and Ron realizes he's being petty and jealous by thinking Harry's lying to him and trying to gain glory for himself. Really, Rambo? Okay, I'll let Rambo out. Jeez. Alright, I let him out. So, and then at this point, we get the Yule Ball, which is basically a dance. And Ron and Harry try to get dates, and they have to go with these 2 Indian girls. Nice. And Hermione goes with Victor Crumb. And then Ron gets jealous at her and attacks her. And then he makes her cry. And yeah, so he's not really the nicest guy in this film. And then at this time, the film goes on. Cedric tells Harry to submerge the egg in the water and open it. And he does so, and he learns that the next challenge is in the Black Lake. And basically, they try to figure out how is he going to hold his water under breath for an hour. And then out of nowhere, Neville tells Harry about gillyweed, which if eaten will make his hands and feet webbed and give him gills. So he goes down in there. He saves both Ron, and he saves Fleur's sister, who Fleur was eliminated and could not save. So then we basically get to the last task. So this is the point where the climax of the film really becomes clear. And basically the first to touch the Triwizard Cup, which is hidden inside, wins. And they touch it, both Harry and Cedric at the same time. Sort of an agreement between them. And then this is where the film comes full circle, and I really like the mystery and the sort of symmetry of this. He was dreaming about this the whole movie, the graveyard. So as soon as he touches the port key, the cup, he's transported to the same graveyard he had been dreaming about, and it becomes clear that Voldemort is there. Voldemort kills Cedric, and Harry is pinned to a grave where his blood is taken, and a ritual commences which gives Voldemort his human body back. And at this time, Voldemort summons the Death Eaters with the Dark Mark, and he explains to them how he lost his powers to Harry. He duels Harry Potter, where their spells join in a chain. And at this time, Harry is protected by the fact that his wand and Voldemort's are twins, basically. They share the same core from the same animal, which is another way how they're connected. So he manages to get away with his life and goes back to the cup and teleports back, where he's crying on Cedric's dead body, and it's an emotional scene. And at this time, Mad Eye Moody takes Harry away from the scene and says, like, you don't need to be here right now. And he takes him to his office, and Moody starts to, like, spaz out, and his face is starting to change, where it becomes clear that he's on Polyjuice Potion to change his appearance. And Moody tells Harry that basically he helped him win the whole thing, that he told Hagrid to lead Harry and Cedric into the woods to show them that the first challenge was dragons, and that he told Cedric to open the egg underwater, and he gave Neville the book that led him to Gillyweed, which Harry used. He also reveals that he put his name in the Goblet of Fire, that Moody put his name in, and that he also put Victor Crumb under the Imperious Curse in the maze and used that to help Harry win by basically eliminating Fleur. As Moody's about to kill Harry, Dumbledore, Snape, and McGonagall burst into the room, and Dumbledore makes Moody admit that he's an imposter, and the real Moody is locked in a chest in the office. The imposter changes his appearance, and it's Barty Crouch Jr., which basically is the big reveal, because earlier, using the pensieve, they looked at a memory where Barty Crouch Sr. imprisoned his own son, who was revealed to be a Death Eater. And I kind of missed some of the things in this synopsis, but as usual with my reviews, it's always better when you watch it. But I will say about this film, I think that it's very well structured, and it's like you're kind of just like going from event to event in a tournament, which sort of distracts you from the things that are going on in the background, which are this reveal that Moody is an imposter, and the reveal of Voldemort coming back, and also going through where Barty Crouch Sr. dies, and it's a mystery who killed him. We eventually find out it's his son. And all this stuff is going on. Things like the Dark Mark coming up at the beginning of the film, and then at the end, Voldemort returns. Things like the dream of the graveyard at the beginning, and the reality of going to the graveyard at the end. It's a nice symmetrical movie is what I really like. Very entertaining, very fun to watch. Like I said, well directed, but not nearly as well directed as the other ones. I give this film a 9 out of 4. I really recommend it. And yeah, like I said, it's better than I actually thought. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this film. I have a lot more to say about 5 and 6 especially, and then 7 and 8. Mainly 8 is obviously going to be a very sort of more in-depth review. But I really recommend this film. This one's more plot-based, like I said, very symmetrical, so it's best you just watch it. There's no point in like detailing every single thing that happens. So thank you for watching. This was a bit of a shorter one, about 14 minutes, I think. This has been Saucy Boy, and Saucy Boy out as usual.